because on a Saturday it's a great commitment to come on Saturday, and I'll make sure that 3 hours you learn something. If you're from a non-IT background, you're welcome. If you're from any other background, you're welcome. And by this workshop, you'll get a knowledge that what it takes to be a web app developer. Yeah, what it takes to be a web app developer. You'll get that knowledge. Okay, so let me check whether it is going. Hello all. Okay, so this workshop is not only for people from non-IT background, people from IT background also doesn't know what is required to be in the IT. And trust me, I know what is required to be in the IT. I have been in the industry for the past 16 years, and still I'm in the industry. Although I'm a full-time trainer now, before this I was an architect, and a lot of people might not know about me. So let me share my screen and let me tell a bit more about me. So this is me. This is me, and my name is Nabindu Vishwas, and this is what I do, helping people to become a web app developer. Besides this, I'm a React.js teacher, and actually this is live on LinkedIn also. So if someone is watching on LinkedIn, they can come on YouTube because we are going to give some attendance form on YouTube, which will not come on LinkedIn. Okay, so that is there, and this is my LinkedIn profile. I am a corporate trainer also. I take a lot of corporate training. In most of the corporate training, I teach freshers to come in the industry. Okay, because freshers generally in colleges now also they teach something else. Industry requires something else. They teach Java. Industry requires JavaScript. So that is the thing. So beside this, I have worked in almost all big company. I am an author also, which you can see the 3 5 technical books are there when you will see my profile. So this is my profile. Maybe I will paste this also here. So you can go through my profile, you can add me, you can add me my profile, check more about me, what I do, all the things are there. And let me browse a bit down. So this is me. I'm a JavaScript teacher and the founder of TWD. It's my own company. I'm the founder here, and we have other teachers also who are going to join today. So my teachers, my partners, like our CSS expert Mosam is there, our JavaScript expert Hari is there, and I am the whole expert means. But nowadays I take mainly the React part. Okay, so that is there, and this is about me. This for the past 1 year, I am working from my hometown of Bhopal, and before that, for 16 years, I was in metros. I was in Mumbai for 12 years, 4 years in Bangalore, and my last job was as an associate architect in a Bangalore-based product-based company. And associate architect at the top of the technical, not associate architect, architect at the top of the technical career. So I was at the top of my technical career when I left the job to start my journey as a trainer, because that is what I love. That is what I love. I love helping people to get into the IT industry. When I see people nowadays also don't know what is required to be in the IT industry, they're still doing those Java, they're still doing those PHPs and all. Like it's like that is not required. That is not what is required in the industry. Even in the smaller cities nowadays, those things are not required. Okay, so beside this, I have worked in almost all big companies. Like I have worked in IBM, I have worked in L&T Infotech, I have worked in JP Morgan. It is a very big bank which actually runs America. I worked in Oracle. I have worked in a government company. Started my career with the government company known as CDAC. So all the things I have worked. Okay, so that is there. That is about me. And this is our company TWD, fully registered. GST, we give our GST. We are fully registered company. We are now 5 people strong company. So that is about us. And so we have two full-time partners, we have interns, we have community manager. So all those things we have. Okay, so that is there. And if you know React.js, feel free to drop a resume. We have a lot of jobs for React.js, not only in our company but in a lot of other things, a lot of other places also, a lot of our partner companies also, and all those things. Okay, so beside this, what we are going to do beside this, this is a, you'll get a participation certificate also. Hope we have told enough about that. You'll get a nice participation certificate, and for that, what you need to do, you need to fill two attendance form, not one attendance form, two attendance form. Attendance form will be like in a Google form you have to fill, and this Google form, I'm going to give this link, or not right now but later on. I'm going to give this link and send it to you people on the chat, on the live chat only. On the, let me also mention that, because a lot of people are going to come after that. The attendance sheet will be given on live chat only. So okay, please don't come back after that. Attendance sheet will be given on the live chat only. And in attendance sheet, what you have to fill? You have to fill your email address, you have to fill your name, you have to fill from what domain are you there, non-IT IT professional, production support, student, adult, and you have to give your LinkedIn profile. If you have the LinkedIn profile, you have to give it. Why we require the LinkedIn profile, I'm going to tell in some time. But LinkedIn profile, if you don't have, put I don't have a LinkedIn profile. Okay, just like that. It is not like that you have to give a LinkedIn profile. If you have it, please give it. Please give it and give the LinkedIn profile like this. So this is my LinkedIn profile. If I have a LinkedIn profile, I will paste this thing. Okay, you have to go here and go to the view profile. You get your LinkedIn profile. So give that. Don't just give your name. If you might be not that much popular, so I might not be able to search. So this will be given at around 3:30, and the second attendance form, and this attendance form will be given before we start with the HTML, because I have to tell something more also, because it is not like just we are just going to start with HTML, CSS, JavaScript. We need to tell what is required to get into the IT industry, because a lot of you are not from the IT industry. Not a lot of you people, maybe you are a BCom, maybe you are a B mechanical, maybe you are a B electronics, or maybe you're in the IT only, but you don't know because your seniors doesn't know what is required. This will be the attendance form number 2. Let me change it. And this will be given towards the end. Towards the end means we're going to end around 6. So 5:30, 5:45, or maybe 6. Towards the end, we'll give this. So you have to fill both of the attendance form. Then only you'll get a nice certificate. Okay. So that is there. And so as we have told earlier, there is something which is required. Okay. Let me show this thing first. What is required to be a web development? What is a web development actually, which I'm talking about? What it is? So web development, in web development you have to learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. These three things you have to learn: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay. And these three things are the main thing which drives the world nowadays. Okay. But only these three things will not give you a job. You need a fourth thing with this, and that is known as a React.js. That thing is known as React.js. You need to know the combination of these four things. I'm asking only for four things. I'm not asking for hundreds of things. So that's why it is very easy for anyone to learn these things. These four things, you just need to have a dedication. You need to learn these four things, and you will get a job. If you learn these four things, make some projects, send me your resume, I will give you a job. Okay, so that is so much in demand, and I'm so much confident that just you have this all these four things in your resume, and you have your uh, projects created, because projects are the thing which is recorded. Because I don't know whether you know the theory or not, and we are here to help you. We help people both with the free courses and not paid courses. Free courses are on our YouTube. Everything we teach from HTML, we teach CSS, we teach JavaScript, we teach React, we teach JavaScript project, we teach CSS project, which is teach React.js project. So if you want to learn it from a YouTube channel, you can always learn. If you want to have that personal mentor thing and a job guarantee thing, you have our paid courses also. But paid courses generally happen every 2 months. So right now it's the mid of the thing, so we don't have any paid course right now. So the paid course generally happens after every two months. Okay, so that is like that. We have that much capacity only. Okay, so that is there. And all of our students have been placed right now because they will learn React.js. What else? Okay, so attendance sheet will be given at around 3:30. Okay, so that is there. And what you have to learn? So HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. What are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript? HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are used to get. I think most of you know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are used to get websites. But what is this React.js and all? Actually, even JavaScript is not required to create websites. Only HTML and CSS is required to create all those simple websites and all. HTML, CSS is required. Nowadays, even that is not required. HTML, CSS is also not required. All of you must have heard about the term WordPress. So WordPress developers. So with WordPress, you can really design some very good looking websites. But the thing is that neither there is a much pay in WordPress. As a freelancer, as an employee, anything, there is not much pay, and you are going to create some static websites. Those have not much functionalities. But with JavaScript and React.js, you create web apps. So what is a web app? This is a web app. See, I'm using some amazing thing in a browser. See, I'm doing this thing. I have created all these things. I've even logged into my account. This thing is not done as a web app. This is not a website and all. And this thing I have saved it. So this thing is saved in a database also. because and every time I go here, I'm not creating it every time. It is saved in some database also. So web apps are like the complicated thing. Like the whole world is a web app right now. From LinkedIn is a web app. Everything you go here, I have to log in here, I have to put my post here, all these things. LinkedIn is a web app, Facebook is a web app, Amazon is a web app, everything is a web app. Okay, so that's why there is so much demand of it. Okay, so that's why it is there. Okay, so that's the reason everybody needs web apps. Okay, so that is there. From a small thing, from a small company and all, everybody needs web app. They create this web app. So web apps, and there are mobile apps also. So what are web apps? Web apps are something which you go through the computer and do it. Most of the startups need a web app also, and the mobile app is a different thing. Okay, mobile app is a different thing, and web app is different. So web app is created using mainly the front end is created using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React.js. So React.js is the main thing which is required. Okay, so that is there. React.js is the main thing which is required to create this web apps. And as I told, the demand is way too much. React.js is a JavaScript library, and it is the easy also. It is the highly demanding from startups to FANG companies to service companies like TCS, Wipro, Facebook, everything uses this only. React was created by Facebook. So, but even if you learn all these four things, how do you get a job? Suppose I am a mechanic, because yesterday only at my home two people came, and they will soon be my student, and we take physical batch also. If you are staying in Bhopal, you can always come for the physical batch. And they were like, so I will give you their use case. So they're like 2009 pass out, 2009 pass out from computers. Okay, both of them are 2009 pass out, but they were the only child, so they don't want to go outside. They cannot go outside of the hometown. I graduated in 2004, and the moment I graduated, I went to Bangalore to get a job, because nobody get job at that time. But nowadays the scenario has completely changed. So what did I told them, and what is my future plan for them, because they're going to become my student? What is my future plan for them? How they will get a job? They have 2009 pass out. 2009, this is what, this is 2022. Like, they are like 13-year gap. How will they get a job? Because a lot of students ask me this thing. I have 5 years gap, I have 6 years gap. They have not 5 years gap, 6 years gap, they have 13 years gap. 13 years gap, 13 years is a long time. See, if in 2010, if I go backward in time in 2010, and they would have come to me, and they would have told me, okay sir, okay, we have passed out in 2000, and we want to get a job, I will say no, forget it, you will not get a job. With a 10-year gap, you will not get a job. Because at that time only there were companies like TCS, Infosys, and all those things, and they have very high criteria. Like, you should be B graduate, you should be graduate within 2 years, and all those. Nowadays everything have changed. Literally everything have changed nowadays. If you are not going to TCS and Infosys, it's better for you. You'll get a better job if you do that. So, but what you need to do, screen is very much clear. Please change your, okay, maybe Mawsam will tell. Screen is very much clear. You have to go like this, and I don't know why I always tell this thing. Okay, so where am I? So I'm telling this for the last time. So see, this screen is what you have to do here. You have to go here. I think this will come after that. So you have to go here, and you have to do this settings. You have to go to the quality. See, it is for me also, screen is like this thing. You have to do a 720p. Okay, you have to change the setting to 720p. I know it will take a lot of your data. Maybe if you're on a Reliance 1 GB data, it will finish all of you, but we cannot do anything about it, because that's the reason it is by 480p it will come. Please give your 1 GB data to me for today, and do it on 720p. Please don't watch it on 480p. If you want to learn something, you have to give me your 1 GB data. Your 1 GB data you have to give us, or else you will not see anything. Okay, please give us your 1 GB data. So that is there. And so what if, how they will get a job? How, if someone have such a long gap, how they will get a job? And what is my plan for them? So my plan for them is like, as I've told, 10 years back, there was no job for them. But thanks to the rise of startups, thanks to the rise of all the big companies, nowadays in Google and all, like all the big company, even you graduation is not required. Why? Because in America nobody does graduation. So that is also a reason. In Google and all big companies which are there, no graduation is required and nothing is required. So, but you have to do something. It is not that much easy to get a IT job and all. I have a lot of mechanical engineers who have got IT jobs. Okay, from our trainings, from our YouTube channel also. A lot of people have got some jobs from our YouTube channel. Maybe okay. So yeah. So see, someone got a React dev job just for watching our videos. Someone got an internship in VMware. VMware is a very big company in your Bangalore. So he got a VMware job from watching our videos. And someone, this is the best one. Someone actually a mechanical engineer. He got a job. Mechanical engineer. He got a job as a full stack developer by following us, and actually he used to follow our instructions also, the instructions which I am going to give my students, the instruction which I am telling, which is the secret actually, which is the three secrets to get a job in IT. So that secret I'm going to tell, and that secret is like you need to do a lot of networking. If you're, especially if you're gap, you're from a non-IT background, even if you're from IT background, if you're in college, first year of a college, you have to do a lot of networking. Networking means you don't have to do some physical networking and all. You have to be visible on these four places: LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Instagram, delete all those selfies and all those things. Put some development stuff there. LinkedIn is the main thing. LinkedIn is the main thing in India to get a job today. LinkedIn is not a job portal like a Naukri.com. It's a social media type of a thing. Okay, social media type of a thing, and it is there. And I'm 2000 out, but I joined job. Okay, so there were some network issues. Okay, sorry for that. So there were some network issues. Okay, so yeah, I'm back. So there was some network issues for that. And so LinkedIn is very important. LinkedIn can give you a job. That is for sure. LinkedIn can give you a job, and I am there to help you. How I can help you? See, I am a LinkedIn influencer. So those who don't know what is influencer, influencer are people who have a lot of connections. I'm a LinkedIn influencer. I have 22,375 connections, and LinkedIn has a limit of 30,000 connections. That's a lot of connections I have. And trust me, my connections are not like with anyone. I have connections with almost everyone, because when I left my job, I had interview letters from Google, from Uber, from German companies, and all those things. I have left all those things to become a trainer. So I'm in contact with almost all people, all startup, everybody is out there. I have connection. So the moment I put some post, it's get out there. And if my students also do something, what I tell my students, first to build their portfolio and all, and like wait a sec. Mm, one of my student Ankit. So this is one of my student turned intern, because he was doing really great, and I took him as an intern also. So this is this guy, and what I tell them to update their profile, maybe they have not updated completely, and then they have to do a post. They have to start adding 50 connection every day, every week. You can add 50 connection every week, and then you have to post something. You have to post you have to code in the public. So see that he has coded such a nice project, and he had shown this thing. Okay, and if I like this thing, if I put some comment here, I think I have put some comment. Okay, so okay, I have not put some comment. So I will do a great work at at the rate is there at Ankit Chaitri. Okay, at Ankit Chaitri, and I'll do, because I don't wanted to go to Google. Okay, that was not and that was not something everybody don't want to work in Google. Okay, so people are like Maybe I don't only got opportunity for Google once but twice. Once in the means starting I got means 2 years back, and now also. So I know Google is a top one, but not everybody wants to work in Google. Everybody, for me, training was my passion. Okay, so I came here. So that is there, and trust me, means I can Yeah, so a lot of people are there. People are leaving their Microsoft jobs and becoming trainer. Means we are like this. I think all of you know about Tane Pratap. All of you know about what is his name. So I know a lot of people, but they teach us DSA and all. But I don't like DSA and all. Okay, so that is there. And let us not go there and Google and all. So that is not everybody's, like in India. Not everybody wants to go to Google and all those things. I can anyway anytime. So this is what this gives me much more pleasure. So this my students making these things. Okay, so he made these things and he's doing like great. He's doing great. And yesterday only I got to know that two of my students are like building the next metaverse in a like a. And they're placed in a company, and the CEO told me that your students are doing awesome, and we have given them some metaverse project, and they are like doing they are like our best employee, and that gave me too much satisfaction, like okay, that's good. Okay, so that is there. And that's on me. And so that's you have to do. Okay, that's you have to do. That's not about me, that's you have to do it. That's how you get a job. That's how this guy get a job. That's how I have another I think his name is Singh. What, okay. But this guy also, he did from me. And okay, they have, sometimes people don't update their profile. Okay, he's working on metaverse now. And okay, so that is like. And yeah, so I don't want to make platform like Google in India. I want people to make platform like Google in India, so help people to make platform like Google in India. Okay, so that is there. And so the thing is, Ajit, please don't talk like that. And because if you are like, if you're from a non-IT background, don't you want to know what is required? Okay, don't you want to know what is required? You can get the HTML, CSS, JavaScript knowledge from anywhere in the world. You can go to such a nice channel, such some other places also. But nobody is going to tell you this thing. Nobody is going to tell you what is required. Okay, what is required to get into. If you are, suppose if you have 10 years gap, what you are going to do? You're going to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Nobody is going to do. You will not even get anything. Okay, so that is there. Please have patience, because the software engineering require a lot of patience. When a single bug comes, a lot of time it is there. Okay, so that is there. And now, what daily actions you have to take? So you have to like code for 2 hours. You have to code for 2 hours. So it is required for code for 2 hours. And that is what this all people have done, coding for 2 hours. Okay, coding for 2 hours. And so Ishan, I think Mausam had just told that I take at Awadpuri, the physical class at Awadpuri, and we are going to have our next batch starting from 5th of September. You can connect with us. Maybe Mohammed, maybe Mausam will give you our WhatsApp link and all, and you can do that. Okay, so that is there. And as I've told, you have to code 2 hours daily. So that is a must. And if possible, take parts in this challenge, 100 days of code and 100 days of project. I'll not tell much about it, but these are job guarantees thing. Okay, so that is there. And now let me give the first certificate and first attendance sheet, and then also we are going to start with HTML. Copy this and attendance 1. So this is attendance number 1. There will be a second attendance also, and this is a must to fill. So I'm also pinning this message so that this attendance is there. Okay, so 1 sec. Okay, so that is there, and let's get started now. I'll close this on. Okay, so for HTML, there is a requirement for HTML because we are not in 2010 anymore. This is 2022, and the requirement is like you need to have a code editor. You need to have a code editor to start. So what code editor you require? You need a code editor known as VS Code, and to start with a web development. It is more than enough VS Code, and this is the only code editor which require. Please don't go for some other code editor right now. Maybe it is Atom or something. Please don't go for that, because this is the only code editor used everywhere. Every company, every developer uses this, and because of that, this is from Microsoft and totally free of cost. And I'm using Mac, so it is showing me download Mac Universal. If you're using a Windows, it will show you download Windows Universal. If you don't know how to install it, you can we have a video on our channel, so you can check it out, and you can install it, and it is very easy. If you find any problem, you can always contact us. So that is there. You have to download this. It comes with a lot of features, and that is one of the reason we are always telling to do this only. Don't go for some other code editors and all. Okay, so that is that. You have to download it, and when you download it, it will show like this. Okay, it will show like this. It will come like this, and okay, so let me make some, have both of them side by side. So it will show like this. When you'll open this, it will show like this. Now what we need to do, we need to start with HTML. As I told, we nowadays we don't write in the Notepad plus plus and all. Okay, so that is there. And now in a 27th, I have created a folder on my Mac. So just like Windows also, you can create a folder. Then I will come here and do a HTML basics folder. I will create again HTML basics. Now what I am going to do, this HTML basics, I am going to take it and drag it and put it there. So drag it. So this is how I drag it. I just click it and drag it and put it there. Okay. Now the HTML code, generally everything has a extension. Like all of you know who are from non-IT background, like JPG may have JPG extensions, maybe see everything have extension. .xls extension, .mp4 extension, .jpg extension, everything has extension. So like all programming language also have extensions, and HTML have a extension of .html, and you can give the file any name. Like I will give a index.html, okay? And now what I will do, so this is where VS Code comes into picture. So VS Code, with the VS Code, I can write some shortcut for our HTML. And generally what you need to do, you need to create a skeleton code for HTML, but with VS Code I don't have to do it. So I'll do a shift and this not, and then I'll press the tab. Okay, press the tab and it will write the code for me. And this is the basic skeleton of an HTML. I'll explain it what this means, and you can always also generate it like this, not, and then the tab, it will generate it. Okay, so this I will maybe write HTML. Okay, so what does this all means? Let us go line by line. The first line is like doc type HTML. So what is doc type HTML? Doc type HTML means this HTML is HTML version 5. HTML is generally it is governed by a committee. HTML features are governed by a committee known as W3C committee, and W3C school also is from them. So W3C committee is there, which sits in the US because everything was created by US. So they in 2015 created HTML version 5. Before that, HTML version 1, 2, 3, 4 were there. So HTML version 5 came in 2015, and the syntax of this, that you have to create a like this you have to write, which is the HTML version 5, and this greater than less than sign is what HTML is all about. So HTML is actually not a programming language. It's like just the normal thing. Like it's not a programming language. Programming language starts with JavaScript. Okay, it's a scripting thing. JavaScript is the main thing. From there the programming language starts. Now this doc.html is for HTML version 5. Okay, Now after this, the main thing is that the HTML starts with like this. HTML is starting and HTML is ending. So this brackets are there, but it starts here and it's end here, and everything is in between. Like after this there is a head is there and body is there. HTML mainly consists of a head and a body. Head is mainly, you will see that head will mainly contain here, and a body is something which will be the main part of it. Okay, body is something which is with the main part. Okay, so that is there, HTML and body. And now what is it in this head, this title? You'll soon see this, whatever title is there, you're going to see it in the this address bar, you're going to see. And but what is this meta tag? So meta tag is something which is used by not by mainly the developers. It is used by digital marketers and SEO expert. Meta tag contains the actually the details about the website, web app, whatever you say, like details about the website. And that is how your website ranks high on Google, because the meta tag are used by Google bots. And when Google bots come to your site, see, Google works like that only. Google have some bots, automated bots, which scans the whole of internet throughout the day. Okay, throughout the day. And when they come to your website and they will scan your website, they will know about your website through this meta tag. So meta tags are very important from a digital marketing point of view, not from a developer point of view, but digital marketers study this thing only, meta tag, how to make the meta tag more good, so that the Google bots can scan it much easier. Our SEO ranking increases. So all those things we are not going to learn here. That's a digital marketer domain. Okay, but the meta tag is used for that. Now this title is there, which we will see how to use it. But our main thing is the body tag. In the body tag, HTML is all about learning about different tags. Like there are 3,000-4,000 tags, but we'll tell all the important tags. You don't have to go outside those tags. Okay, you have to only learn those tags. So the first tag which I'm going to do is the H1. I'm just going to tell a bit H1, and then I will have a HTML crash codes, and then I will have a P here, and this HTML crash course I have written. And in the P, let me write something in the P. And maybe I will write this thing, I will copy this thing, and I will paste it here. Okay, and save it. Now where to see this thing? I have written all this. This is not what I have written. So where to see this thing? So to see this thing, I have to go to my this HTML basics, and I have to come here, and I have to do a right click. And if I directly open it, it will open in my Safari browser, which I don't like in a Mac. So because my default browser is that, double click on it, it will open in that. But if I open with, I will do it with Google Chrome, because that is what I think. This is not Google Chrome, this is Firefox Developer Edition, another browser which I like. So open with this Firefox Developer Edition, so it will show like this. Okay, so see, I will close it. So see, our web page, a simple web page is there. See, I've told you this HTML is there. HTML is there at the top. Then this H1 is like the big text, which you have seen in all the different sites. H1 is like the big text. Then this paragraph is there. Paragraph is there, which is having this paragraph. So this is known as a paragraph tag. Okay, so this is just a basic thing. But even if we're starting, what we are going to do, we are going to not work like this. See, working like this, there is a bit of a challenge here. See, if I come here and do a P again, okay, I just closed that Microsoft site. So from where I will get some dummy data, and getting a dummy data is also a thing. So generally we don't put any dummy data. Like I will not do like this. No, that is not correct. Okay, like, that is not correct. There is a special kind of a dummy data known as lorem ipsum. This name is there, lorem ipsum. So this dummy data problem was always there. So this is not a new problem. This is a 200-year-old problem. When printing press was invented, so that time also they wanted to see the first print if everything is coming, and most of the time they didn't have the news to go with. Means the first time they will not have all the news. So what they will do? They will do some dummy text, and that dummy text came to be known as lorem ipsum, a dummy text which is 200 years old. It doesn't mean anything, but it is not like that. It is like anything, like it is there. And there are a lot of generators are there, lorem ipsum generators. Okay, you can generate those texts. But again, VS Code comes to our rescue, and it comes inbuilt with lorem ipsum generator. So what I have to do, I have to write lorem, and then I have to press the tab, and I will get a lorem ipsum text. It doesn't mean anything, but it is like when you see it, you'll see that okay, something is there. So lorem ipsum is there. I've done, but it is not showing here. I just put a paragraph. I just saved the file with Control S, but it is not showing it. Why it is not showing? Because it will not show like this. I have to refresh it. I'll refresh it and it will show. But what if I don't want to refresh it every time? I want it to be done like that. Like the moment I save it, it will show. So what to do that? So here again, VS Code comes to our rescue. And if I come here, this is where small extensions are there. So what are these small extensions? Small extensions are the small program created by some talented developers who give this us to free. Even Microsoft gave us VS Code for free. Microsoft used to not give anything for free 10 years back. Okay, so everything they used to charge, but nowadays they give a lot of things for free. Just like we are giving a lot of things for free. Okay, we give so much content for free. If you're not yet subscribed, please do subscribe to help us grow. We're giving so much content for free, but we also need some support from your side. Please do like and subscribe. Okay, so please do that if you're not done it yet. And so that is there. And here you come and search for something like live. You do live. Okay, you live. Attendance I've just given, it is in the pinned message. Please do submit it. Okay, please do submit it. It is in the pinned message. Please do submit it. Okay, so I think attendance is working quite fine. Let me check 1 sec. When it's telling that attendance is not working, so maybe I will check. Okay, so this is the attendance form. You have to come here and click it. I think it is working quite fine, and you have to, like, it will not allow me. You have to fill it. Okay, and submit it. Okay, please do it. And that is working fine. Okay, so if I do this live here, so if I search the live live, I will get this thing. So something from a talented guy known as Ritvik Day, very talented, because his extension has been downloaded so many times. It is like 2.4 crore time. As an Indian, I'm telling it is in crore, 2.4 crore time. So because this is a very handy extension, what it does. So let me say, okay, you have to install it. How you install it? You just have to, you get some install button here. You have to install it, and it will be installed. Very easy. Then what you do? Then you come back here, and here you'll do a right click and open with live server. There is a button which is there. Open with live server. Open with live server. You have to do. Okay, or else maybe you can click this go live also, but I will do this. Maybe first time I'll do this open with live server, and this time I cannot help it, but it is opening in my Safari browser, which I don't like actually. And so I'll copy it and paste it here. Copy it and paste it here. Oh, it is 80%. Okay, so it is okay. So I will copy it and paste it here. So it is like same, it is showing like this, but what's the benefit now? The benefit is like, see I am here in this thing. It is opening in something. Just open it there. So I will delete this thing, and it is not yet saved. So it will show like this. If it is not saved, then you have to do a Control S, and see it got auto refresh. I didn't touch anything. My mouse was here. I didn't touch anything in the keyboard also. Okay, I didn't did any cheating. So it got auto refreshed, and now I'm only seeing this thing. But if I come back here, it didn't got auto refresh. It's still showing the old data, and I have to manually go here and refresh it. Then it will show. So we're not going to use this way. We're going to use the live server from now on, because we don't have time to every time go there and refresh it. So that is there. So this is the first part of it. Okay, so that is there. Now let's get started with the different HTML tags. So we'll get started with different HTML tags. Okay, so the first tag which you have already seen is the h1 tag. Okay, h1 tag. So like the h1 have some other siblings like h1. Now see 2 3 4 5. 1 sec, I'm just coming. Okay, so sorry for that. Okay, so this h1 to h6 are there. Okay, h1, h2, h3, h4, h5, and h6. Save it. So h1 to h6 are there. These are the tags. You might have seen in different websites the different sizes of the heading is there, subheading is there, all those things. So those things comes on here. h1 to h6 tags are there. So that is there, and they're of different sizes. Mostly nobody uses h5 and h6. h5 and h6 are very small. And the next tag is the paragraph tag, which you have already seen. I will add another paragraph tag again with the lorem, 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 and tab, save it, and it will show like this. Okay. So before moving forward, two things. I will tell one more thing here. There is something known as comment in not only in Java, not only in HTML, but in all programming language, you'll have something known as a comment. So comments are like this one tag. No, not h1 tag. This is known as a heading tag. Heading tag. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to select it all and do a control backslash, and it will be like this. Okay, then I will come here and do a paragraph tag, and I'll do a control and backslash. So these two things I'm going to do, control and backslash. So what are they? So if I save it, see, you'll see there is nowhere this heading tag, there is nowhere this paragraph tag is being shown. Okay, no one, these two things are being shown because they are something which is to the developers. See, this is the thing which the end user see. This is the thing which the your developer will see. But this is like for the developer reference. So so the developer or some other developer, they know what is this. Okay, this is a heading tag, this is a paragraph, and for your reference also, when you're going to see this file, you're going to learn means what is this. Okay, because we're going to give this. So these are heading tag and these are all paragraph tag. Now there is one more thing here. The thing is that there are two types of tags in HTML. One is known as a block level element, and one is known as, so we are not going to do canvas. Canvas is like a very advanced topic which nobody uses and all. So canvas, if you want, you can always see that thing. Canvas is like used to, I've hardly seen canvas used in any websites and all. Okay, so canvas is like the 3D thing by which you can create some different different shapes and all. So nobody uses that much. It never took off that much. Okay, so people like to do advanced things, and beside canvas, nowadays people are working on something known as 3js a lot. So it is all programming thing. Okay, so 3js is like a JavaScript library. If you want to learn about 3js, don't learn about canvas. Again, a tip, because I was just talking to a CEO yesterday, a very big company, and he was telling that 3js is the main thing. Okay, so that is that, but it is not. It is keeping there. So that is, don't learn about canvas, learn about 3js. Okay, let me write it also. 𝐻RE3.js. But this is very advanced stuff, not for some. I'm not scaring anyone, and don't get scared with canvas or 3.js. This is some advanced stuff. Okay, so that is there. So we're not going that much advanced. The main criteria here is to get people a job. They don't need to do all this advanced stuff. Okay, so that is there. And where were we? Okay, so these are known as block level elements. H1 to H6, they are known as block level elements. Most of the tag are either block level element or inline element. So block level element, what happens? The block level element takes their own line. See, there was a lot of space here. After this could have come here, this could have come here, this could have come here, this could have come here. Everything could have come in one line, but they are coming in different line. They're coming in totally different lines. Okay, so that is there. And even this is here. This thing could have come here, but it is coming in a different line because the block level element take their own lines. They are known as block level element. Now we'll see another tag which is known as an anchor tag or the link tag, which is a very popular tag. All of you must have seen link tag. Okay, link tag, and like this I'll do, and a ref. So link tags are what? Learn development, non-web development. Okay, so this is there, and maybe I'll give my setting. So this is anchor tag, and it has got something known as this attribute. This is known as attribute, and this learn web development I have written. I'll save it and see it will come like this. Learn web development with this underline. If you do it for the first time, you'll always also see it's in blue color. Okay, and the next time generally it shows in purple. I have opened it a lot of time, so I'm seeing it in a purple color. So then I will move my mouse over here. See, I will move my mouse over here. It will also change to a hand. This is another pointer. Most of you might have seen this thing because it is not possible that any one of you not visited the internet and all. Okay, even if you're not from an IT background. So if I click on it, it will open my website and all. So it is like this. It will open. Okay, it has become a bit slow. Okay, so that is there, and it will open this. But what is happening? It is opening it in a same tab, which is not a good thing. Opening it in the same tab, you might have noticed that if you click on something on a YouTube comment, or if you click on something on a Facebook comment or something, or a Facebook link, Facebook post have some link, it will open in a different tab. Why does it do that? Because that is very good for marketing. Nobody wants to get you away from their website. See, all the websites are free because they get there is something known as the matrix, which they show their investor the time a user spends on their website. So that is very important for them. If you spend like 10 seconds even more on Facebook, they get more money. So it is like that. So that is very important for them. So what happens if I click here and I will go away from the website, I will never come back, but it is open in a different tab, you might come back to that tab. So that's why all the companies have that thing, and that thing is generally done by coding. It is not like that. It is very easy. So I will do again. Maybe this time I will have some different one sec, some different link I will have. Maybe my LinkedIn link only I will have, and here I'll have another thing known as target equal to underscore blank underscore. This is very important. This attribute is very important. And then do LINKED save it and see it will come like this. Okay. So now if I click here, it will open in a different tab. It will open in a different tab, and if I now the same thing, if I click here, it is opening in a different tab, and the same thing if I click here, it is opening in the same tab. So that's the problem. Okay, so that's why you should always get this taggle underscore blank. Now notice one more thing here, that is that both of this anchor tag are coming in the same line. It is not like it is coming in the different line, because this thing is a inline element. Even if I have 10 anchor tags, they will come in the same line. They come in the same line. So that is like that. These are inline element. Okay, so that is there. So now we look into some more tags. So the next tag which we are going to look is the list tag. Okay, list tag we are going to look. So I'll come here and do a list tag and do, and then unordered list and ally item 1 2 3 4 5, and then I'll have a ordered list. And so both of them are different actually. One is the unordered list and one is the ordered list. See, in HTML everything means something. Okay, UL means unordered list, OL means ordered list, and LI means list item. I'll save it. See, these are like dot will come for the UL unordered list, dot will come, and for unordered list, and for ordered list 1 2 3 4 5 is coming. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 is coming like this, and whatever. If you increase one more here, it will increase this to 6. So nothing else. It will increase this to 6, and anyways it will increase one more dot. So this is like the li tag. So the next tag which we are going to learn is a group of tags known as table tags. Okay, so they are also group of tags, not used that much nowadays, but then also it's good to learn them. So because you can create table also from HTML table tags. And let me write tags because there are some tags are there. Okay, so what example, we cannot go much deep into it. Okay, so table tags, table I'll do, and in this table tag have actually two parts. First time starting from the start. So table tag is just like HTML has thing. Table tag has two parts. One is the again like a HTML, it has a t head and a t body, t head and t body it has got. Okay, so then in the t head what happens, the table header comes. Okay, what are the table headers? So it is like we'll have a table row. So everything is a row in table, like this row, horizontal lines, table row, and then I'll have a table head there. And this is known as a table header. This is table head, this is table header. It will be name, age, email. Okay. And then if I save it, it will show this name, age, and email. Okay, so then come here and table row again, and then table data. I'll have this table data. So table data I'll have, and here I'll have a do. So see, I will have all these things. This I'll have, and I will have some more also. So I'll have some more data here. Okay. So like this, the table are been shown. Okay, so table are been shown like this. Okay, so that is there, and then this is all about a table. So table head and table body are there. So now we are going to learn about a very important group of tags known as a form tags. Form tags are very, very important in actually web app development, because when you go to Facebook and all is not like a static site. You're entering something there. You're logging there, you're registering there, you're putting your post there. So what happens when you put your post there? You're putting your post in some form, and that is something which we also teach how to put your post. There is some API call, and then some advanced stuff happens. Right now, you learn those advanced stuff if you do JavaScript course from our site. Okay, from our YouTube channel, we have JavaScript courses also. So all those advanced stuff are taught in there. So that is there, and but how to get the data, that is also the data is always get from the user. We get the data in something known as forms, and forms contains a lot of tags, so we're going to learn that now. But even before forms, I've come a bit down. So we're going to tell about two more tags. One is a br, which is known as a break row. Let me tell about first HR. HR means horizontal rule. I'll save it. See, a line has been created for horizontal rule. And what is a BR? BR means break row. So it will have some space. Maybe I'll have this thing two more time. Okay, so like this, so that I will have the form inside it. Okay, so it will be nice. So we'll have form tags again. Then I'll have a form. Another form, and form tags are created inside the form, just like a table tag inside the table. There are a lot of things are there. First thing which I'm going to do is the label I'm going to do, and for it is like name and name and input type is text, id equal to name, and name equal to name. Okay, so that is it, and I will have other thing here. Label, age. I'll explain all of these things. Age. Type is number. Age. Save it. Okay. So see, now you have this nice looking thing. You all might have seen this thing like in Facebook and all. You have this username password thing. So this name and age is there. So name, you can, first thing is that input type text. What is input type text? Means I can enter any text here. And what is input type number? Input type number, that I can enter any number here. Okay. And then also I get this nice thing from the browser. I can increase it also. So like this I can do it. Okay, so now let us go through completely what is this label, what is this input and all. What is this label and input? Always comes in pair with label. So whenever we write some input, which is mainly showing this thing, you should write a label also, although it is not mandatory, but you should write. So label and input always comes in pairs. So this is one pair and this is another pair. But how they are pair, how we know that they are a pair? For that thing, there is a attribute known as for attribute. For and id comes in combination. So for is name, id is also name. So that's how they are pair. How they are pair? For is age, id is age. That's how they are pair. Okay, that's how they are pair. And then what is this name? Name equal to name and name equal to age. This is something, as I told, that forms collect the data and actually send it to the backend. Like Facebook is there, Facebook backend, in fact Facebook server it will send. So when we send it to the Facebook server and all, we need something to differentiate it. Like we are not going to send this label input. When we are going to see the data like name equal to whatever the user enter, age equal to whatever the user enter. So in this case, name equal to Nabendu will go to the Facebook server, age equal to 40 will go to the Facebook server. Okay, so that is like that, and we're going to see more about it later on. I'm going to show when I'm going to submit how it goes. So that is there. But here one more thing is that you might have noticed that everything is coming in one line. Again, an example of inline element. Everything is inline here. Label is inline, input is inline, everything is inline. Everything is coming in one line. So now what? Now I don't want everything to come in one line. So now what I am going to do here, I'm going to do a div here, and this div, what is this div actually? So div is actually a block level element. You'll see this div code a lot. Div is nothing, a block level element. You'll see people group code with this div. Okay, and again I'll do a div, and I'll put this inside it, cut it and save it. Now see what will happen. This is coming, these are coming in two different lines. These are coming in two different lines. Okay, so but still they're very close to my liking. So what I'll do, instead of again using a div, I'll use a br here, and this will come in different lines. So these are like this. This is, although it is very ugly, because how to make it beautiful, that Mausam will show. Mausam is going to take css after me, and that he is going to show. And one thing is that css and javascript we are not going to take completely. HTML we are taking completely, but css and javascript are like big stuff. They takes around, css takes around 5 to 10 hours to complete, and javascript again 5 to 10 hours to complete. Like 5 hours the basics and all the theory part which we generally do, and like 4-5 hours again for the projects and all. So those all things are there on the channel. Every month we run css, every month we run css beginners to advanced, javascript beginners to advanced, react.js beginners to advanced. Every month these three things are permanent on the channel, and they are all certification courses. You can always come and do them free of cost. Okay, so that is there. Then after this I will come and we'll do the like next thing we should do. There is something known as text area, which is very common in Facebook and all. You see when you go there in the post, you create some post. That is something known as the text area. So how to do that? I'll do, and now come here and do a div and label, and for message message, and area. ID will be message, name will be message, ID will be message. I don't need the calls and the rows. That is something which I don't need. So text area, see, one more thing is there. Text area is not a self-ending. This input is a self-ending. Text area requires an ending. So I'll save it and see this text area is like this big text in which we all know what it does, like Facebook post, LinkedIn post, which are like, this is multi-line. So they are multi-line text. They are multi-line text. Okay, so that is there. So now the next thing which we are going to learn here is the and is a drop down. Is a drop down we're going to learn. Favorite color, then select. So it comes to the select, then color, and option value is like red, color, blue, color, green, color. So it is there, and this is what is known as a drop down. All I think almost all of you have seen a drop down, and this is how you can select anything of them. So drop down is them. Drop down, I don't think I need to show, but maybe I'll show drop down. See, this is a drop down on Amazon site. This is a drop down. Okay, so that is a drop down. Okay, so that is there. So that is there, and this is known as this thing. So now our this thing, our form is not yet completed. The form is a very big thing. Okay, so the next thing which we are going to see here are checkboxes and radio boxes. Again, a very popular thing. Checkboxes, like I'll go here and br I'll do, and then I'll do what I did here. 1 second. I think I missed something here. So div, I should do it. It doesn't look good. Div, and then ho, what do you own, like this. Then input type is checkbox, and name is equal to vehicle 1 and value equal to bike, and ID also equal to bike. Okay. And I'll have a label. So you can have a label after also. It doesn't matter that always you have to have it before. Label of bike I will have, and I will have bike. So again, this thing is that here in the checkbox, the value is very important. Value of bike I have given, it is very important. Name is also very important. We're soon going to see why it is important. So this I'll do again, and this one will be vehicle 2. This one will be car. 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 It's like this. I'll save it. Now again, checkboxes are there. What are checkboxes? Checkboxes are something which again it is there in every places, and checkboxes we can select multiple things here, like bike and car. Bike and car, both of the things we can select. So like this, and checkboxes are separate. That's the reason I have this as name as vehicle 1 and vehicle 2. You're soon going to see there is another thing known as radio box, which is used to take only one input from the user. How they're used, I'll do again a br, and I'll do a div, and in this div I'm going to have a h4 gender. So there is sometimes when only one input is required, and there are two ways to do that thing. One is through this drop down. Either through drop down you can take one input, and another is through radio box, which is again very common, and multiple question answers also. A lot of time radio boxes are there. Okay, so like this I'll have an input type is known as radio, and then name equal to gender, value equal to male, and id equal to male, and label is for, and for it is male, so it is female, 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 okay. And this is other, 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 and other. Okay, so like this I'll have all these things. So now this is there, and as I've told, radio boxes are generally also known as radio box group. So I can select this. Then when I select this thing, this is gone. So I can select only one of them. I can select only one of them, and there is a bit difference in the radio box and the checkbox. You see the name is gender in all these things, okay, but the name is different, vehicle 1 and vehicle 2, because when it will go to the backend, you're going to see two different values will go. Okay, so that is there. So this is done. Now we have some other things are also there in a form which I want to tell, and for that thing I'll go to this W3C school, which is again a very popular site, but you should not come here much, because I've seen a lot of my students wasting at least six months in HTML by going through this site. There is a lot of HTML tags. You don't need to know much of HTML tags, only learn those things which you are going to tell. So from here I will take some of the HTML input types. Input types are a lot. Actually, from in 2015, a lot of different input types were also added in HTML, so that it can make our work easier. Earlier it was very difficult to create some of the things which are nowadays very easy. So you, if you want, you can go through this also. Okay, so that is there, and well, maybe I'll paste this link also. So we are going to see some of those things which are like a different, are very important and very nice to have, like this thing, color. What is this color? I'll do a br and a div, and like this I'll just paste it, and I'll see what is this color. So color, what is this color? Thanks. So this color is like this. You can choose any color from here. This gives us a nice thing, like you can choose any color from here, and that is like this. Okay, so you can choose any color. Then the next thing is this date picker. So this date picker is one of my favorite thing, because before 2015 we used to go to a lot of problem to have this date, input type date, and nowadays it is like there in every website. It is very easily, it is there. Because of this date, you get a, you'll see what you will get, and just with input type date and input type color. See, input type date, what will happen, you'll get a nice calendar, very nice calendar, and you can choose anything from here, like anything. And actually the implementations are quite different. Okay, so maybe like this it is there. Okay, so like this you can choose anything, like this from date you can choose anything. Okay, so that is there. And before 2015 we used to do a lot of crazy JavaScript logic to create this thing, but nowadays just the input type date, it will give you the date. So it has become a lot more simpler nowadays. Okay, so then one more thing, and this thing you might have seen in a lot of website, to give your date of birth. Then there is a thing which is a staple for sites like naukri.com, which is like upload your resume. You upload your resume in that. How you upload your resume? You upload your resume to do something like this, input type file. Again, it was very difficult earlier. input type file, and you upload your resume like this. You can browse it. You get this button here, and you can browse it, and you can do anything, like anything means like maybe I did this thing and I will have this thing. So this is like this, you can do it. Okay, so all of these things are here. So now what is there? Now we have all these things, but how to submit this thing? How to submit this thing to the, maybe all this data I am taking from the user for registration. Now how we will submit it? So to submit it, we have another thing, like I'll do a BR and a div again, and we have an input type submit, input type submit I have, and then I have a value equal to send. I will do anything I can do, send. So see, now a nice button will be created, but this is very important. Input as submit is there, it will create this button. So now what I can do, now I have all this data, I have entered all this data. Now you see closely here, you see two things, one this thing and one this thing, because I am not going to do it again. So when I'm going to send it, see, first thing, something got added here, and second thing, the browser got refreshed, and all my data is gone, all my data has become blank. Where is the data? So data generally used to travel in the internet like this earlier, not now, not nowadays. Around 10-15 years back, it used to travel like that. So when for the backend there was only one popular language in the internet, that was PHP. So the data has gone like this. Okay, name and all. Okay, so let me also comment. Okay, I'll comment it out later on. So that is there. So name is Nabindu. So as I was telling earlier, this name is very important. So name is Nabindu. What I've typed, age, this thing from here, age is 40, what I type, message. So then the message is the message, again the name is the message, whatever the message I type, it has gone like this. Some things are like spaces are there. Then color, this is very important, color is there, color is this one. So name is color, and this red color didn't got, whatever I have selected here, that might have gone. So I've selected green. And checkbox, vehicle 1 and vehicle 2 are going different. Vehicle 1, because I've chosen both of them, so vehicle and vehicle 2 is given. But in gender other is going, because I choose that thing, gender other is going. And then fave color is going, birthday is going, file is going. So this is how it goes in the internet. But nowadays we don't send it like this, because this is a very old way to send, which is through PHP. PHP was in the first version, Facebook was also having PHP. Okay, nowadays everything is React. Okay, so it goes like that. Okay, and it is also a bit unsecure to send like this, because when you send it here, sometimes the hackers also can get this thing very easily. Okay, so that is like this. Okay, again it is like this. And now we are done with the form. We have done a lot of things, but as the button here is that we can have a normal button also. In maybe I will put this inside this form. We can have a normal button also. How we can have a normal button? So with the button tag, we can have a normal button also. And then I will have a button, and here click me and save it. So it will also create something like that, only input type submit. But there's a bit difference in there. So when we will have something like input type submit inside a form, when I click it, the refresh happens. The refresh of this thing happens and everything goes. But the main thing is that a refresh happens. But when I click here, no refresh happens, nothing happens. All this, the functionality needed to be added with JavaScript, which Hari will take at the end. Okay, again we are not able to take everything in JavaScript. This is just will touch the surface of CSS and JavaScript. We have our week-long batches of CSS and JavaScript on the channel also, and React also. Everything we teach, everything. Okay, so that is like that. And now the last thing I'm going to tell here, which is like the images. Images are very important, so I'll tell about the images. So images, I'll put maybe a BR here. And, okay, so image tag do, and there are two ways to take images. So first way is to have an image here itself. I'll come here and new folder, images, and inside these images I will have a image. So from where I can get the image. So the best place to get an image is from the Unsplash site, because in Google also you take images, most of them are copyrighted. Okay, Unsplash, I will go and I'll search for desktop setup, and maybe I'll take this one. So I'll do like this, and I will do a medium one. So it is downloaded. I will find it somehow, and this is there, and maybe I will drag it from here to here. Images, it is done. Now I don't want such a big name, so rename Unsplash. I'll name it Unsplash only. So like this is there. Now how to show this image? So to show this image, you have to do a img tag here, which comes to two things. One is this source and one is this thing. Okay, so in this I'll have this images and Unsplash, because it is in a different folder known as images. Okay, so image and Unsplash, and here I will write desktop. I will save it and see, you'll see this big desktop is coming. Big desktop is coming, and it is like very big. So we don't have many things to control it from here. Okay, so how do I control it from here? So there are some 2-3 things. See, most of the things to beautify thing are done with CSS. We are going to learn it later on. So here the two things. Width is maybe I'll take it as 400, and height as 300. I'll save it, and width and height, now it is been shown like this. Okay, this is how we do it. And there is another way to take the images. Okay, one sec. And there is another way. One sec. Okay, so the other way to take the image is like I will go here and I will close it. I'll take another image. Okay, so maybe this one I'll take, and I'll go here and img again, but I don't want to download it, so I'll right click it and copy image link. You can do it for any image. Copy image link on the internet, you can do it for anything. Copy image link, and I will paste it like this, and then in the alt I will write headphone, maybe headphone, and width and height I will do same like this, and I will save it. Now you'll see this one is also coming. Both of them are they are coming one after the another. They're coming nice. But there is one thing here, the last thing, which is what is this alt tag here? So alt tag, you're seeing alt tag is there like this. Headphone, it is written. I've written headphone. I've written desktop. What is this? So what happens if sometime you go to a site in which there are a lot of images are there, and all the images have not been able to load in your mobile because some network issues there. Okay, so then the image got broken, or sometime maybe the developer does something wrong, like maybe I gave it like this image, I did it wrong. So then what will happen? Then this alt tag has been shown. So now see, this desktop is been shown. Okay, so one more thing is that this Firefox Developer Edition, this is a bit different than your Chrome. Most of you might be using Chrome or Firefox and only. So let me do one more thing here. So see, it is only showing this desktop. All browsers are different. Okay, So I will tell one more thing. So this is a Chrome instance, and here you'll see a broken image also. But here I'm not seeing this broken image, but here you will see a broken image also. Okay, so that is there, broken image also you're going to see. That is what is been shown. Now the other thing is, I just want to show, if I open it I will show it. So see this calendar, see, you're seeing this, it's totally different. If you see here, it's totally different. So it means in Chrome it is shown differently, and in Firefox it is shown differently. And this does happen. If I open it in Safari, it will show even different. Okay, so it is like that. This is all the internet works. So with this we come to an end for the HTML. Now let me like close it. Now the next part will be done by Mosam, but let me close a bit and all. One sec. So let me do some setup and all here. Okay, so now maybe Mosam will start from here with the CSS. Okay, so to Mosam will start with CSS. Okay, so Mosam will take CSS from here.
Hello and welcome all to the bootcamp where we will be covering the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript basics. And I hope you all have loved the HTML and the introduction of our company and what we are doing these days. So let me have. And I request you all to please, I have shared the WhatsApp group link here. I request you all, those who are not in our WhatsApp group, please join the group with the link so that you all will get updated as what we are doing, what we are planning, what are we thinking. So we share our views there kindly. And one more thing, very important thing which I just want to share you, that please like the video. It will help the YouTube algorithm to share our content timely and also to the correct people. So here we have covered the HTML part. Now I will be taking the CSS part, and I just want to hear from all of you, from someone, that am I audible properly, screen is clear, anything issue? Can someone please comment or reply? And also there will be two attendance form. One we have already shared, and the other one we will be sharing after some time, because it's a system generated process. System will automatically share it, so don't ask for it. And what one thing what I want to share you, so system will automatically share the attendance sheet. You just have to fill it. And I request again to all of you, because in earlier bootcamps what we came to notice that people watch the video completely but miss to fill the attendance sheet, one or two or both. So I request you to please fill both the attendance sheet. Don't forget to miss the attendance sheet, because we are not giving this sheet anywhere in any group or anyone to one personally. We will be sharing the sheet only here in the live YouTube chat only. So am I audible properly? Can someone please reply with yes or no, so that I can go ahead? Can someone please reply? So let me increase some font size also, so that it will be more visible to all of you. So is it audible? Yeah, thanks Yogesha, thanks. So I've increased the font size also for the better understanding and clarity if someone is watching on the mobile handset. And let me start with the basic index for HTML. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, thanks, sir. Thanks, Ishan. So there are some people who joined, I can say, almost every week, because every Thursday, every Saturday we are having this, and once in a month we will be having, or we do have from 9 to 5, in which we will cover the entire HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So there are some people who I remember the name Ishan, and some people that who used to join every week or on every session. So let us start with CSS. Sorry. So CSS, as the name suggests, CSS is for cascading of style sheet. CSS stands for cascading style sheet, and it is used to actually beautify the HTML content what we have prepared or what you have prepared. And without CSS, yeah, thanks, Senthil. Yeah, Senthil, don't ask for attendance again and again. First form already been shared, and second will be shared by the system automatically. We have designed the system in such a way that it will share the attendance, or it will push the attendance sheet in the live YouTube chat again and automatically. Yeah, we also even don't know that when the system will share the attendance sheet. And one more thing, you all will get the participation certificate uh, max by tomorrow end of the day, and we will post in the WhatsApp group also. Those who are not in the WhatsApp group, please join the WhatsApp group. I have shared the link of the WhatsApp group in this live YouTube chat. Please refer that and join it. And that's it for the for from my side. And let us, so it is basic index.html, and let me create a basic structure. So one second. Okay, so it is, and so there are three ways in which you can add CSS. CSS is usually used to beautify the HTML content, and or I can say the HTML entire HTML page. And without CSS, websites look very ugly. Around 1995, 1996, when I can remember the Yahoo page, it contains only the HTML links. Yes, Yashasvi, there are two attendance sheet. One already been shared, and one will be shared automatically by the system before the end of the session. So please stay tuned and wait for the next attendance form. Also, I request you to please like the video, subscribe to the channel so that you will get notified of the new content or the new concept or the new class what we will be starting now. So now I will not be viewing the chats. I will concentrate on the topic, because after this JavaScript is also there. Sorry. So there are three ways in which you can add CSS. First one is inline, second one is internal, and the third one is external. Internal and external are the most commonly used CSS types, which is being used by the developers. Inline and external are the most commonly used. Internal is also being used, but at all not at all frequent, which I can say for inline and external. So let us create a basic HTML structure which I have already created, and let us have h1, and in this we have inline, and for h2 internal, and for h3 h1. So I can say you all know how to open this with live server. And what are the benefits of live server? So live server will help. It actually creates a local server, and as soon as you save the changes in the VS Code, it will publish there. So that's the beauty of live server. And you can use the live server of Ritvik Day, which Navindu has told you to use it. And in this inline means in the same line. And how in the same line? So you will use the style, and in this style, we will use the background color. And I love the color as aqua. So here, if you see, as I saved it, by default it gets the change. here in the inline. So this is how you can add the inline type of CSS. Fine. Second one is the internal. Internal, as the name says, internal means in the same HTML file. Inline applies to the HTML content and internal applies to the HTML file. So here, if I want to add, I will type the style here, and in this style, let me start with the h2, and in this we change the background color using a new format as ff00AA. So let us see which color. uh, uh, okay, not RGB, hash FFAA00. And so it comes this type of color. So this is how you can add internal CSS. Now external, as the name says, externally we will be adding CSS to this HTML file. So externally how? For this we will be creating a external file with the extension as .css. .html refers to an HTML file, .css refers to an CSS file. So that is how we create a simple file using clicking on this icon, and here we will apply the CSS to this h3 element which we have taken for the external type of CSS. So we've changed the background color in the RGB format, and I will write the range as 100, 0 to 55. So let me see which type of color is this, and it is not reflecting. I'm changing it again, and it is not reflecting. Why? Because as the name says external, so we have created external file, but there. So for this there is a link tag which we need to link it. So this is how the color, background color applies. Fine. So now if you see here, I have added colors in 3 pattern. First one is simply typing the name of the color in the inline CSS. Second one, where is the second one? Second one in the internal using the hash pattern, and third is external using the RGB pattern. Why? I can add any of the 3, or I can add only a single one across all. But there is a reason, because I want to explain in how many ways you can add colors to a CSS. Because without colors, CSS is like anything. CSS is only of colors, alignment, centering, like that. So there are 3 ways in which you can add colors. First one is simply typing the name of the color. There are around 140 colors names which you can type. And second one is the hexadecimal format, which starts with hash. And as most of you are from technical background, or you have learned or you have heard about number system which contains a hexadecimal number system format, where you can have a range, or I can say where you can have a wide range of the selections. That is why it is being incorporated in the color system also. And third one is the RGB. Sorry. Going back to the hexadecimal numbers, hexadecimal color system, it has a range similar to the hexadecimal number system, which starts from 0 and ends to 9. Okay, and starts from alphabet A to F. That is why it is being used, because it has a wide range of numbers. And third is the RGB format. RGB stands for red, green, and blue. And why red, green, and blue? Because uh, a human eye, a human eye can see a combination of only three colors: red, green, and blue. Every color will be prepared with the combination of these three colors. Using a proportion of any of these colors, you can prepare any new color. So, so RGB has a range starting from 0 to 255. So for this, let us view some sites which help you out to, one second, pick the colors of your choice. So there is a web page called HTML color picker which will help you out to actually pick the color of your choice. See, See, and one more color system is there which is called as a HSL. H stands for hue. This is the hue. S for saturation, and L for lightness. Hue contains the colors, saturation contains the sharpness, and lightness contains the brightness. So any color you have the hexadecimal pattern, the RGB pattern, and the HSL pattern. Usually inline and external is being used a lot. In color, HSL and RGB pattern is being used a lot. So these are the most popular things, or I can say most things which is being used by the developers a lot. That is why it is being called as the architect language, because it is being it the color, if you think, you can imagine, comes from here only. So here the RGB format, selecting some proportion of the red, green, and blue, you can prepare the colors. See, so here is the hexadecimal code, here is the RGB code. Fine. And one more site I would like you to refer: HTML color codes. Both these sites are being governed by the W3 schools, and W3 school is the governing committee to manage all these things. See, these are the colors. Fine. So this is the hexadecimal code, RGB code, HSL code. Around, I can say, 140 colors are there. See, so you can pick here any color of your choice. So uh, now let us have some more font properties. Mm, 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 mm. Let us add a paragraph tag, and in this paragraph tag, a lorem of 20. So a 20. Let me duplicate the content. Fine. So this is a dummy content. Lorem is a dummy content. Lorem gypsum is a dummy content which is being used a lot, and it is being used since 1800s years. Why? Because in order to check something, it starts when the evolution of printing press was there. In order to check the colors, in order to check the fonts, it is being used because it's a dummy content. You can check your colors, your sharpness, your brightness, your size, font size. So that is why it is being used. And see, this is the dummy content which we have added in the paragraph tag. Now let us style the paragraph tag using some more font properties. So let us have the font size of uh, 30px. This is the font size, and let us have a font color of blue, and I can say, let us have font family of uh, Arial. And if you have noticed here, by default, there are three type of fonts. Fine. There are three type of fonts by default system gives to select. Why? Because there are because there are I can say so many browsers being available in these times, and all does not support all type of fonts being available in the world. So that is why the second one, which is a Helvetica, and the third one, which is a sans serif, is called as the fallback fonts. Why fallback fonts? Because if I am opening this in Safari and Safari does not support Arial and supports Helvetica, it will by default it will pick up the Helvetica font. Fine. And if I say I'm opening this in Google Chrome and Google Chrome does not support Arial and Helvetica, it supports sans serif. So by default it picks up the sans serif font. So it this is there is a reason why it is being used. Now let me have a idea of the Google fonts. Why, what is Google fonts and why it is being used? So what are Google fonts? Google font, as you know, Googles are now into our every parts and parcel of life. So Google also have introduced their fonts these days. Why fonts? Because I can say Google fonts are the font awesome or awesome fonts which actually change the appearance of a website, because these Arial, Vedica, Sans Serif, Helvetica all are basically the traditional fonts, and it is being used some years back. Now every website is being prepared with the help of Google fonts, which makes the websites very attractive, very decorative, very soothing, very I can say decorative. So for this, Google fonts are being used, and you can see here a lot of Google fonts are available in front of you. So let me clear the fonts which I have taken earlier. So let us have uh, let us pick up this Arboreto. You can see it will look like this, and they have the regular font as 400. So let us add this, and using this option, Control C, going back, and you need to move, make it, paste it in the top. Sorry. Now let us add this font Arboreto. So using ABE, sorry, ABORETO. Now see, this is how our fonts will look like. So this is the beauty of Google Fonts, as changed, how it entirely changed the total appearance. Fine. So now let me have font weight of 400. Sorry, font weight will have bold. So it will look like that. And here if you see, let us add some more font properties, which is the line height is one of them, and I can have the line height as 0.5 rem. Okay, sorry, so let's change it to 2.5 rem. Fine. And in order to view the result, 3.5. So what is this line height will do? line height will actually increase the spaces between the lines in the paragraph. And if you see here, I have added px and rem. So what is this px and rem? Px and rem are basically the units of measurements. What are units of measurement? Units of measurement are something which I can say here is used to measure something. Here I have taken the units of measurement as px and rem. There is another unit of measurement which is called as em, but it is not being used a lot. So rem is basically a unit of measurement which is being used, or which I can say being adopted individually, or I can say independently. And px, as you all know, px is basically the pixel. Px is basically stands for the pixel, which you all are very well aware of. Now, let what we will take next. So let us start with the classes and IDs. What are classes and what are IDs? Classes and IDs both are used to target any HTML element. Okay, classes and IDs are used to target any HTML element. But the basic difference which I can say is classes, same class can be used multiple times, but id can only be used only one time. Classes can be used with the help of dots, or I can say dots are used to highlight classes and hash are used to highlight ids. And second, one most important thing, id can only be used once. So here let me go back, and in this paragraph tag we have a class as para, and again in a next paragraph tag will have lorem 20. I will have uh where's the mouse? I will have id as graph. So I request you all to please always copy the class name and the id name. So dot class name bracket open, and we can have some font properties which we will add here in order to understand the concept of classes and IDs. So yeah, let me have the same set of fine, and I will comment out this thing. ठीक है, एक मिनट. ठीक है. So let us have how to highlight the ID. So for this, always copy the ID name, hash ID name bracket open, and we will use again the same set of font properties, but we will change the color to orange, right? So this is how you can actually, I can say, target or identify any HTML element using the classes and IDs. So I can use the same class a number of times, but I can use the ID only and only one time. So now let us have some more font properties here, which has a text decoration or text transform to uppercase. Whatever it is already uppercase, so let us change the lowercase. And here we can have uh, what else we can add? So I will keep on adding as soon as I remember it. So now let us switch on to the next property, which is called as the box model property here. So what is box model property? A box model property contains of four things. So box model is an interview question, and here if I can say, box model contains of four things, which is called as the four layer property. So for in order to understand the box model, we need to switch on to this one, Chrome. Sorry. What happened? One second. Why it is not coming? 1 minute. Let me again open it in live server. Fine. So because Safari does not support that type of feature, which I just want to tell you for a box model type of pattern. So for this, if you see here, if I click on inspect, this is basically a box model. So for this, in order to understand the property of box model, there are four. Box model contains of four things. First one is the content. Outside this content we have a padding. Outside this padding we have a border, and outside this border we have a margin. So box model contains of four things: content. Outside this content we have padding. Outside this padding we have border, and outside this border we have margin. Fine. So this is what the box model contains. So now let me close it and will apply the box model here. So for this, let us put all this thing inside a div, and in this div we will using the always move the content using alt and up arrow. Select the content and using alt and up arrow move it wherever you want to move it. So now let me do one thing. Let me clean up my page, and this also is not required. And here we will use this font only. Okay, fine. So now what we will do, let us create a box model, and for this let me remove the line height property so that it will look good, and text transform to lowercase uh, and here what we will take, let's have some padding of 20 px. So 20 px top, right, bottom and left, and after this padding we have a border of 4p solid of green color, and let us have a border radius property which will uh, what border radius will do, border radius property will actually turn these sharp edges into a curved ones. So we'll have it as 5px. You can see the sharp edges, or let us change it to 10 10px, so that it looks nice. And after this border radius, we will have margin of 30px. So 30px means 30px top, right, bottom, and left. So this is how you can actually use the box model property in order to beautify your content, or I can say in order to align your content, or I can say in order to place your content properly in a web page where actually you want to place it. Now let me have some more properties of this box model. So one second. So there are some ways in which you can add these box model property. Commenting out this thing. So for this, you can have padding left also, and purple 10px, and padding top you can have 20px, padding right you can have 30px, padding bottom you can have 22px. So similarly in this way you can have a different unit of padding on different directions. Similarly to padding, you can have the margin also, fine. So you can have margin also. And another way in which you can have this padding margin also, you can have padding of 10px top bottom and 30px left and right. Similarly, you can have margin of 20px and 40px. Fine. So this is 30px, this is 10px, this is 30px, and this is 40px. So these are the way in which you can add padding and margin. So there are multiple ways which I have told you. Now, now, one more way in which you can add. So for this, padding of 10px, 20px, 30px, and 40px. So top, right, bottom, and left. Okay. So this is how you can have the padding, and similarly you can have for sorry, you can have for margin also. This is how you can use it. It will go like this. Now let us have some more font properties here. What we can have. So we have as font style as we can have italic. So it will change to italic. What else left here in the font properties? We can have the text transform to lowercase, but it is not happening because maybe due to the font family what we have picked. So leaving that. Now, yes, very important property which is called as letter spacing. Let us have 1em, and here we will have another property, word spacing. Word spacing I can have as 1em, same here. So letter spacing means spacing between the letters, and word spacing means spacing between the words. So this is how we can have these letter spacing and word spacing properties. Now, moving on to the next important thing in the CSS, which is called as the styling of list. For this, let me create the basic structure. A div, inside this div a header tag, and outside this header tag we will have a unordered list, and inside this we will have a list item. And 1 second, there is a shortcut, li li into 5. Okay, so it will work like that. So here let me tell you one thing very clearly. You need to know about shortcuts. If you have noticed here, I am not typing the entire set of code. And yes, one more thing I will tell you, what is CSS selectors. This basically thing is a selector, this is a property, this is a value. Entire thing is a declaration. Fine. Selector, property, value, and entire this thing is a declaration. So this is again an interview question. Now we have a div. Let us have a div class as categories, and in this we have category. And here, as we don't want to go anywhere, so we will use the hash pattern, and here we can have the cat1, cat2, cat3. Cat means category, it's a short form. Cat5. So saved it. Now a basic styling is in front of you. Now what we will be doing, we will be targeting these categories and we will be styling these. So let us copy the class name and we will add some border of 2p x solid of black color, and we will have some padding, because without padding our element will not look good. And in this we have the border radius property also. Let us have 5px, so it will good, like it will view like this. So now what I will do, I will add, or I will align this particular header in the center. So for this, copy the class name, and in this dot categories, and inside this category we have a header tag h2. So we have text align as center. So if you see, the category part will shift to the center part. Now what we will do, we will actually target this unordered list. So because after this category part we have the unordered list, and after this unordered list we have li, and after this li we have anchor text. So we will target the entire element one by one in this sequence. Dot categories, and in this we have unordered list, and in this unordered list what we will do, we will use the padding as 0 in order to shift the entire content to the left. This is what we are looking for. Now in this we will use the list style as none, so it will remove the dots. Now in this pattern we will also do one thing, we will add the font color to black, so it will change the color to black. Now uh, one second. Now what I will do, uh, 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 color black is there. Now let us add a pseudo class property here to the list item, or I can say to the anchor tag. So anchor tag, a hover effect we will be adding, and we will change the background color to orange. Right, so let us see it is happening or not. Yes. Now what we'll do, let us create some spaces between the list item. So we will have list item, and we will have some padding in the bottom of 20px. Fine, and let us create some border bottom of 2px. So I can use the dotted with the black color. Fine, it seems good. Now uh, 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 so what else we can add here, what else we can add here? mm, 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 mm. Hover property we have added, and okay, so let us add the font which we have already copied here, the font family. Font family, so it will change like this, and it have font weight to bold. Okay, okay, and let us increase the font size also to 20px. Nice. And what, it all depends on your thought how you will be beautifying the things. And in this anchor tag, um, in this anchor tag dot categories anchor tag, let us have some margin top of 10px. Fine, so this is how you can style a list. Now I will be handed over this session to Hari, who will be taking you to the JavaScript basics, and he will take you across to the JavaScript. So handed over to Hari now. Hari, please join.
Hey everyone. So is my voice is audible for all? It's clear for all, right? Just give a comment if it is all sets okay. We can go for the JavaScript section. Fine, right? Okay, so I just going to explain about all about JavaScript. So we in this section, like it's 30 minutes or another next 45 minutes is not enough for to go through or master towards JavaScript. If any of them have that idea looking in JavaScript, just leave those ideas. Okay, so what I just going to teach for the next 45 hours, the main important things like what is the purpose of JavaScript, right? So you need to understand the purpose of JavaScript, how it evolved and how it has come, and then only you can able to understand like how JavaScript is occupies this entire development field. Okay, so then you can understand like where I am using that particular JavaScript, where this JavaScript is particularly used in a space of development, and how like wherever you go you hear about JS, right? So you clear about JavaScript, so or JavaScript frameworks or JavaScript runtime. So that is what you hear about, right? So in the entire field wherever you go you just hear about JavaScript, both front end back end, anywhere, right? So that is an important language that we need to know. So first we need to understand what is JavaScript, then only we can move we have an idea that where we are using this JavaScript. Okay, so this is the reason it is, how it's evolved, and what is the background of it, and what is the purpose of it. The main reason is what is the purpose of it, because I am getting feedbacks like people think like HTML and CSS and backend is enough. So why I want to use JavaScript? So some people are taking classes in they know familiar with some other programming languages like Python, the frameworks of Django, like that, and they don't even touch the JavaScript. Okay, so they are thinking like okay, so I'm created on full stack applications like that. So the reason why we need to touch the JavaScript, and without JavaScript what happened, with JavaScript what will happen, and what the options that JavaScript enables to give, all the things we're going to discuss now. Okay, so if you have any doubts or regarding this or regarding the previous section, you just give a comment in the comment section and I will be check. Okay, so I will be come and check only. Okay, so right now just go for the class. So what we need, I just open my one notebook. So I think my screen is visible for all, right? So I will be watching the YouTube also. So if you give comment, I can able to see that. Okay. Okay. So I hope that my one notebook is viewing for all. Yeah. Okay. So let us come to speak about the basics very frankly. Okay. Multiple screen showing. So that is not a problem like it's because of restream. Don't worry about that. So I think now you can see a blackboard. So that is fine. Okay. So what we're going to see, we're just going to see about what is JavaScript, right? So what is JavaScript? This is going to see, and let us see like how this entire web works, and then we can understand what is the purpose of JavaScript. Several questions that is there in your mind, and we need to clear that, right? So where, first of all, what is JavaScript, and where we are in this, and why JS, and why it is so popular as all these doubts, right? So why it is important and why we need to study JavaScript, all the things we just going to. Okay, so these are all the questions we need to cover. So let's come to straight. So if you take the development process like web development process, so just give a comment how many of you are here that I'm already know what is development. I'm just coming here to go through my knowledge, or or you are a fresher, you are here to learn right now only. Okay, so right now only you hear the word web development, you just work with some of the HTML and CS and coming for this workshop. So what is your choice, like whether you are experienced one like doing little bit projects in web development, or this is going to be your first workshop that I am attending and I to get knowledge. So if you are came here to first, just give a comment in the YouTube chat box. Okay, so if I take the web development process, if you are already well versed in this, you can simply know this. There are two things is there. One is front end and one is back end. Okay, so till now we discussed only this front end only. We don't even touch a single for the back end. Okay, so what is actually front end and back end? Okay, so this front end, it is also called as client side program, like client side work. It is called as client side development, like client side development work. Okay, so this is the server side work. Okay, so this is the difference. So what is meant by client work? What is meant by server side work? Which means what is meant by front end and what is meant by back end. So front end, I am the first. Happy to see Senthil Kumar. So what is mean by front end? So the front end is nothing but the part which the end user who is going to use the person, right? A person, a people, a student, or anyone who is going to use your website. Okay, so what are all the things the person can see, that all consider as a front end. Okay, so then is what is back end? So back end is nothing but the logic behind those website. So what is mean by logic behind those website, and what is mean by this? What is mean by like front end work? For example, if I go for an website, what are the things you can see? Like if I search in the Google itself, it is a web app. I just go for Google and search like to show something like Amazon, Wikipedia, something like that. I'm just searching it, and what you will get a result, right? So you will get the logo, you will get the nav bar, and you can see an image and several text is there, and side cursor and scroll bar is there, and what you have a detail alignment, and button is there, input box, forms, lot of things, right? So these all are parts. Just a minute. Okay, so these all parts. Okay, so these all parts are considered as front end. Okay, so this is something called as front end. So because it is seeable, like this is that design, that layout, this arrangement, everything is seeable by the client side, right? So that is the meaning I give, that is going to be the front end. So it is seeable, but just think about the logic behind those websites. So what is the logic? For example, I go for a website and I give my name, email, and click a button. There is something happens in this website, right? So what happened? This name and email is sent to somewhere to store our data, and it give me a reply message like you are successfully registered, like that, right? So these part we don't see, right? So this process, not only this process, I'm giving an example like this database process or something like this, we will not see, right? As a client we will not see, right? So these are called as backend work. So here backend is called as the logical work we have done, like the core purpose of building a web app, the core percent of building and website is to give some service and do some services and give some products, right? So if it is a product based or service based, so it do some services. So like we take the data and we give a free book, right? So after registering it, or otherwise like a website like e-commerce website, we can able to buy a product, and all this happening, like you are sending money, that money is transferred to someone else. That is also we cannot see. We can able to only click that button and we can see your payment is successfully only, but we don't see what happening in the back end. So our money is sent to someone banks, and there it will be give their username and ID, that integrations and all those things done, and it will give a reply message, right? So we only, so the what are the part, the design part, we can say simply called as the design part, the client side part, this is called as front end. And the logical part where we need to look, that is called as back end. Okay, let us see how it is work in the real website. If I go for some websites like, okay, so some website like I just go for the website Wikipedia. Okay, so I just going to say Wikipedia. Just consider right now I am in a Wikipedia. So here what is front end? So all here you can see an image is there, and these all contents, right? So what all are I'm capable to see these everything. I'm able to see a scroll bar, I able to see the paragraph, and everything is called as front end. Then what is a back end? For example, if I go for the input and I'm searching thing called as Git, and I press enter, and you can see a reloading is happened, and it will use the answer of Git, right? So what happened? So what happened means in this process, what happened? So consider this is the website, and after I'm entering something and I click some button, what happened? I just sending a request to the server. Okay, so the request is sent to show something that is called as Git. Okay, so then what happened? The Wikipedia, it has its database. Okay, so in this database, it will go and scan the database and will check for the content whether something available in Git or not. And if it is find the related content, that data is there, then what happened? It will send the result of the Git, and that will be displayed, and our page will be displayed dynamically, right? So this is called as backend work. And what we see only this, we don't see this, right? So this is called as and front end and back end. I hope that if I have a project of jewelry shop development, then for front end, should I collect my website seen online and download them for making my client website? A project of shop development, then for front end, should I collect many website seen online and then download them for making my client website? No, I'm not able to get what you are asking. Like if you have some of the project of jewelry shop development, just give an answer, I will explain it. Okay, so this is actually called the entire process of development. So just consider, now we are speaking only the front end, leave the entire backend. Okay, so the only thing here you need to notice, if some backend activities takes place, then what would happen? The screen started to remember. This is not a great way to learn, to understand, but just remember till now. Okay, so because this process is take some time, it will send the answer, it will send the request, and it will get the request from here. The same like if I go for the Git, if I go for the same something like the name input, and I go for the search, and I just something you randomly like this, and I search for this, then what happened? You can see the screen load, which means the request is sent to the server, taken by the server, and it will search for the database, and it will see it scans the entire database of Wikipedia, and it will shows that no matches found. So if there is no matches found, then what means? It will shows me that there is no matches in our database. There are no result matching the query. So what you are asking, that is not displaying. Okay, so okay, so you are telling like, can I use other person's front end design, right? So if can I able to search, can I use that? That is what you are asking, right? So if you can get inspiration from that, that is absolutely no problem with that, but you cannot use the same exact design of someone. Okay, so instead you can take inspiration. So we can say that you cannot use someone's design. If they give it for free, that is not problem. They post it in social media and they give for free, and you can use it. Okay, you can develop it, that is not a problem. But if that is in private, but you take and you develop that exact same thing, if they claim, that is a problem, but I think that will not happen. Okay, so that is not a problem. Okay, so if it is in free online, then you can use it. Okay, so there are several pages is there, like Pinterest, you can use to get the designs. Okay, so if you want to start work, if you need a UI UX design, then you can just get there is no problem, you can use it. Okay, absolutely no problem. Okay, so this is all about front end. Now come to this is all about web development, how the website is working. Okay, so now come to this, now come to front end. So leave the back end. Okay, so how this entire process of development takes place means, so first we will go for the graphic designer is there, which means the UI UX designer, a slight difference from graphic designer. Okay, so UI UX designer, what they will do, they will create an photography of the website, how it's want to look. Okay, so they will create some like a file. Okay, so the photo file. Okay, so photo file, they will design our template, like here is come to navbar, this is the color they want to use, this is the font we need to use, and this is the picture we need to use. All the source and resources all done by graphic designer. We can say this is like a diagram. Okay, so they are drawing the website. Okay, so basically it is like an art, they are drawing the website. Okay, so they, after that, what will happen? Yeah, they will hand over the entire resources to the front end developer. So what this front end developer will do, the front end developer will recreate this UI UX design. Okay, so whatever the template they are given by the UI UX designer, they will recreate it for browser understandable format. So that is what we are doing. Like for example, if it is take Wikipedia, the UI UX design was given by the UI UX designer, and they will create a website. Okay, maybe for not Wikipedia, like Amazon, something like big website, they will do that, right? In all common website, we need a template. Like we need to know that where to give the navbar, where to give the alignment and all, right? So we cannot simply came in our thought, like, so this process will happen, and browser understandable format we will change it, like till the 2 hours you are learning that only. So by using HTML and CSS, what we can do, we can able to recreate. So right now it is in the photo file, right? So we have this entire thing, a photographic file, and we will code like change the alignment, padding, color, h1 image tag, like that we will code, and we will create it in the browser itself. The entire website we will create it like this, right? So like this we will create it, right? Like this we will create it. So then what would happen, the backend will take care of the logic, like someone, if someone clicks this, and the payment, it's go for the payment integration and come, and if someone buys this product, we need to send some mail, and confirmation mail and download mail, like that we need to send, and we need to store some data to the database. All this works are carried on by the backend. Okay, so here comes the another question, where is JavaScript? Where is JavaScript? So by using HTML and CSS, I can able to create the front end, and for back end, there is, you already said, right now we don't see about the back end. So only for HTML we are going to see. So HTML and CSS, we can able to create a front end website. Then why it's a need of JavaScript, and where we are using it, right? Okay, so where we are using it, we are using it to give the dynamic interaction for the user. So what is mean by dynamic interaction? For example, by using only HTML and CSS, what you can capable to achieve means, you can capable to achieve only the static website. So what is mean by static website? A website that you will not able to interact. What is mean by that? So what is mean by that? You can create a website, but it is only to see, not able to interact. Just go for some website, and I will explain it. Just go for Dribble, a great website where we can showcase our UI UX design. So that is like the graphic design. You can see I already say like UI UX design. So likewise they will, this is this is a website where like a social media where we are posting photos, right? So here they will post the UI UX design. Okay, so if it is like, if the website is so good, they will like someone, and they will add it to the portfolio for the designer purpose. Okay, so here you can take the inspiration and you can create it. Here you can see, and website is here. Okay, here you see a logo and all those things here. And if you want to get the website, then you need to go and buy those and redesign. Like here they give like what is the redesign pattern, what is the old version, and everything they will create. Okay, so right now consider this is going to be the website, is going to be like a website for UI UX designer. About by using HTML and CSS, we can able to create this now bar. Can be able to create this? The answer is yes, we can able to create. That is what we have discussed, and we can able to lay out this, like it just have now something like 30% width, and I think 250 pixel height, like that we can able to lay out that, right? So that is also possible. Then here comes another thing. So for example, here you can see a button is there, right? So if I click this, you can see some of the drop down is opening. After clicking this, you can see right now it is static. And what is HTML CSS? We can able to create only static website. We can able to only see that, right? So it is a static website, right? So we are only seeing that. So right now I need some options, right? So what I'm going, I just clicking some button here showing. Here you can see a drop down is showing. How can we create this? Yes, if you guess it, yes, by using JavaScript, right? So if you click something like an action, an interaction, I am giving an interaction to that website. I'm giving a click action, and that website is changing themselves, right? This is something called as JavaScript. So for creating drop down, we are using JavaScript. The answer is no, much more. We can use, by using JavaScript, we can able to do much more. For example, these all are done by we can able to done by CSS also. what we can do, you can see filter. It is a great option. If I just click a filter, you can see an entire div is created and there is a tag is there, color is there. So when I come to the website, this filter is not there, right? So this is not there. It just look like that. After clicking this tag will be created, this input tag will be created, the color will be created, the downloads will be created. How it is created and what is the backend activity? I already said, if there's some backend activity, some backend work is happening, the page will get reloaded, right? So that is a tip I give. If I click here, you can see the page is not get reloaded, right? So you can see the page is not get reloaded. It means it is not something that done by backend. It is done by something called as front end. So what this action? So how can I say? So a person is saying when a user come, when a user click this option, then you see, then you show that. Until unless you don't show that. Okay. So whenever a person come and click this, then you need to show that. Otherwise you don't want to show that. So can we do this by using HTML and CSS? If we learned? No. So this is also done by what? HTML. Yeah, thank you Alagu from. Okay, so this is also something done by JavaScript. Then what else? Every interaction you are making in a website, that is done by JavaScript. Just remember that. For JavaScript gives life for the website. Without JavaScript, just you cannot spend a time in any website, like a social media website and anything, anywhere, nowhere. Okay, so you cannot spend a time. So by using JavaScript, we can, so that interactivity, that holding time, so that all done by JavaScript. That interactivity will done by JavaScript. Shalini Sri Visual, when will we share the next attempt? You will get it like the section is going to be end within 6 o'clock. You may get it in around like 5:50, something that. Okay. So and make sure you want to fill all the attendance form. I think 2 attendance form, 2 or 3. I think attendance form you need to fill, then only you will get the attendance. Okay. So I think 2 attendance form. You need to fill all the 2 attendance form. And next comes here. If I click this, you can see if I click an image and something like this is open. So how it can be created? This is also by JavaScript, and I can see some of the comments, share, and everything here. It is done by JavaScript. Okay, so this is a great example, and you can see an X mark is there. If I click this, it will be closed. So how it can be created? It is created by JavaScript. Everything it's created by using JavaScript only. Okay. Okay, so that's it. Let's come to the concept. So now you can understand what is JavaScript and where we are using. Okay, so in JavaScript, for JavaScript front end, in front end, using it for dynamic interaction, like user interaction. It actually gives life for the website. Okay, so without that, it is simply a static website. We only work with HTML and CSS, and whatever the interaction you go and make in a website, what will happen? The page will reload because it will take some time. The backend process will happen. Okay, so just think about that. You are go and clicking some of the subscribe button, like for example, yeah, subscribe button. It is a good example. If I click the subscribe button, the page get reloaded. If I click then a Netflix pricing tag, I want to see a pricing tag. If I click that, the page will get reloaded. Or otherwise something like if I go and zoom in some image, the page will get reloaded. Whether it is okay or you will be work with those website, it is how the website are, then you will don't use the website, right? So this JavaScript, what it will do? So this is something and language. This is something and language that speaks with the browser. Okay, so all programming languages, the programming languages are meant to speak with the server, which means they have the capability to speak with the server, to work with the server, the backend work. Okay, they can able to work with the logic. 5 plus 2 is equal to 10. If you add 2 items, then it need to convert into something like that, right? So that payment works and everything, it's backend. Then what is about front end? It is speak with the browser. So what is the browser? Just see, this is the browser. So here I am speaking with the browser only, right? If anything has to happen, this is I'm speaking with browser, not server, right? Your website, it need to show. This is I'm speaking with the browser, not a server, right? So these all things all handled by the JavaScript. And that's it, JavaScript. That's it, JavaScript. The answer is no. So why you need to learn? The reason is JavaScript, when it comes in 1995, when it is introduced, it comes only for the front end. Okay, it comes only for the front end to do this activity, to make some browser interaction, not server interaction, to make our website dynamic, change the website dynamic according to the user. Okay, so that is all done by this JavaScript. Okay, so then what would happen? So in 1995 they introduced JavaScript, and one more thing I want to explain is there is no correlation between Java and JavaScript. Okay, so just because of the marketing purpose they named it as JavaScript, and other than that there is no correlation between JavaScript. The company that introduced JavaScript is called as Netscape, and who claims that we need to run the Java alphabet in the browser, nothing but a language that want to run in the browser. Okay, so that is why we introduced something called as JavaScript. Okay, so no language can run in the browser, everything run in the server. Right now only Python is integrated to run in the browser. Okay, so but you can see JavaScript in 1995, it has its own space in the front end. Okay, so then that is why it is called as client side, not a programming language, client side scripting language. So we don't call it as JavaScript as a programming language, client side scripting language, because it is only for the front end. That is the reason it is built for. Okay, so then after that, what happened? The time change. Then what would happen? JavaScript occupies each and every field in the development. For example, here comes the part why I need to study JavaScript. If you want to focus on a single language that contains the future or the future of the development of IT, we can say that, then what the language you need to focus is JavaScript. Okay, so we can say for development, for sure we can say, let's see where all the field we can use JavaScript. For example, if I learn JavaScript, then what I can do, I can work with the, so that is the main reason it comes for. So right now we can able to work with the backend too. Yes, you are heard it correct. You can able to buy, if you learn JavaScript, you can work this in backend too. Something called as Node.js and runtime environment created by using JavaScript only. So by using this Node.js, it's nothing but something in front end. You have libraries and frameworks. You can give additional options. Likewise, and front end JavaScript is coming mainly for built in the front. So then what happened? Ryan Dahl. So the person Ryan Dahl, what they will do? Why can't we run the JavaScript? Because JavaScript is very fast when we work with the browser. Why can we use the JavaScript for the back end? Then we can learn front end and back end because learning only a single language JavaScript. If I learn the JavaScript, I can able to work with the front end. I can able to work with the back end too. Then what happened? The Node.js has been evolved. So Node.js is one of the fastest backend runtime environment now. Okay, compared to other programming languages, Node.js has being a runtime language. Compared to the other programming languages, it has been one of the fastest backend language. Okay. Actually, I think who is this dressed? Okay, so actually, how can I tell that you can steal someone's works and you can able to take a credit from that, right? So I cannot tell that, but if it is open source, like if it is available for download for free only, then you can use it. Okay, so but if it is someone's paid version and all, like they have an work, then you will not have access to do that. Okay, so you need to do with yourselves only. But it is they share it in social media, they give it for free, you can use it. That is the main reason. Okay, if it is freely available, they give it free, then you can use it. So you cannot go for Amazon and download that HTML and CSS file, and even though that is not able to work, okay, so you cannot do that. Okay, so this is the reason why JavaScript is used for front end and we can use it for back end. And come to the future. So Other than that, where we can use it for AR VR, which means augmented reality and virtual reality. So you can use JavaScript. By using JavaScript, you can use, like, I think most of you hear the word metaverse introduced by Facebook, right? So the main concept in here, AR VR, and we can use something called as Web3, which means the future of the development, where all the development are speaking, which means like the blockchain development, the decentralized websites. So without giving the data, working with this decentralized website, by using JavaScript we can able to do. And we can work with the robotics by using JavaScript, we can able to do. And work with something called as machine learning by using JavaScript, you can able to do. And all this, for sure, if you are focusing for the development, so you are focusing for development job in JavaScript, development job in IT, then you need to focus for the JavaScript. Why I'm saying that? You can even focus for Python, Java, something other else. Then why I say if it is development, why you need to focus for JavaScript? Because it has vast frameworks, like big job openings. That is the thing. For example, if you choose something called as Python in development field, I'm speaking about the development field. So then what would happen? Have Python development, we have Django development, and you have web backend development, right? So these are all the job openings you would have. But if you take JavaScript, just think about that. What are all the frameworks in JavaScript? We have React, we have Angular, we have Vue, right? So you can apply for, if you learn React, you can apply for React.js, you can apply for Angular.js, you can apply for a developer like Vue.js developer, like that. And you can also apply for the front-end developer, back-end developer, full-stack developer, and even you learn those frameworks combined with, you can apply for Marin stack development, Meme stack development, Node.js, particular for Node.js developer, you can apply for it, right? So there are so much of vast opening surroundings there. And here you can see the React, it has a huge opening. And the Marin stack development is one of the popular and also have the more job openings in all the remote and startup companies, right? So this is why reason you need to learn JavaScript. So this is the why reason you need to learn JavaScript. Okay, so then comes to, yes, even it is, that is the reason. So even if you download something, you cannot able to understand the logic what they have been written. Okay, so you can able to only download the HTML and CSS. That is what you can do. So even what is your thinking, it is not possible, like not really possible, right? So that is it. Okay, so this is all about JavaScript, why you need to learn. So this is the understanding of JavaScript, the only one language. If I learn that, then you can go for front end, back end. So whatever you need it in the future, you can learn that. So why I am saying here this, so here why I'm saying, some people think that JavaScript is even, they are tough, they are very tough, we cannot be able to learn JavaScript, it is very difficult. The answer is no, but the answer is yes also. So where to consider no and where to consider yes. So JavaScript is tough when you want to understand the core concept, because JavaScript is like something, it changes, like even it is a synchronous, even it is asynchronous. We can use it useful for some like some concepts are being not used in the olden days, now it has been used. So that is why JavaScript is one of the most hated programming language, and JavaScript is one of the most loved programming language, and it is also one of the popular programming language. It has all the phases. Okay, so it is tough when you want to learn the core concept. But just think about that, no one in the world who knows everything about JavaScript. Okay, so no one. Yes, of course, right? So no one, not everyone know everything in JavaScript. Okay, so no one is master in JavaScript. So we are here to just improve, like learning. We just take the improvement process and we will keep learning ourselves. Okay, so that's it. That is how you need to master something. Okay, so why I say no, because here in web development, right now we are focusing only for front end. So the JavaScript for front end is very easy. You can learn that very easily. Okay, so the thing is, you need to understand where to use JavaScript. So the JavaScript want to run browser dynamicity for the user, you need to use the thing. The next thing is, what are the concept I need to learn as a front end for front end JavaScript. Then what you do, you just go some advanced concept like asynchronous and asynchronous JavaScript and all, and then go for Node, and then learn backend, and then go for full stack. Like that, you just keep improve yourself. Okay, so right now just focus on front end. So in front end, if I say that In front end, if I say that, then what are the concepts learned? So the basic programming fundamentals. What is mean by some basic programming fundamentals? So wherever you go, okay, so wherever you go, some of the concepts are very basics. Some of the concepts are very basics. Like if I go for Java, Python, C++, everywhere, some of the concept remain same. What are those concepts? Like what is variable, what is data types, what is array, what is object, what is function, what is loop, what is conditional statement, like this. Okay, so these all are some of the common topics. So learn those common topics. So why should we learn? Just for the understanding the syntax of JavaScript, and what is the what is variable, what is data type, what is array, what is object, what is function. So for that understanding only, just give a basic programming knowledge. So that's enough. And after that, then what you need to know? You need to know about DOM, something called as document object model. So you need to learn DOM. Okay, so learning programming language is easy. That is what I'm saying. Learning, if you learn JavaScript, you can able to learn Python, you can able to learn PHP, you can able to learn Java, because everything has the same concept, only the syntax is vary. Okay, so in JavaScript I put some syntax, in Java it takes some more syntax, in Python it takes even less syntax, like that. Only the syntax is vary, but the concept remains the same. Okay, so learning programming language is easy, but implementing those programming language in a concept, which means implementing, if I learn JavaScript, implementing in web development, that is actually we need to learn. Implementing in backend, implementing in robotics, implementing in augmented and virtual reality, implementing in machine learning. Okay, everything, for everywhere the syntax is same. For JavaScript the syntax is same, but for implementing this you need to learn something, right? So that implementation for JavaScript work with front end, you need to understand what is DOM. So you need to work on this, what is document object model. So JavaScript, you need to learn the basic syntax and you need to work on DOM. So apply this syntax in the browser, how to communicate with the browser, that is what you need to do. Okay, so you need to learn the basic syntax and you need to take care of these DOM properties. Okay, so that's it. And the next thing is why we actually, how JavaScript work. In JavaScript we completed it, how JavaScript is work in browser. Okay, the thing is here, so HTML and CSS, it is these language, it is always acceptable by the browser. Okay, so there is no problem here. But a logic, a programming, a scripting language, that is want to communicate with the browser. How can we do that? Because browser does not understand JavaScript. Why? Because browser understand only machine code, it understand only zeros and ones. So if you need to work with the browser, you need to work with the browser understandable code, then what you need to do, you need to convert this JavaScript to the browser understandable code. So what is that? For example, JavaScript is nothing but a file, right? We are creating a file and we put all the code in this JavaScript file, and this file, it's not understandable by the browser. So what is browser? Browser is nothing but Google, Mozilla Firefox, Safari, Opera Mini, Beat, something like this, right? So these all are browsers. Some of the browsers are out there, right? Internet Explorer things, right? So these are the browser. But this file, this JavaScript file, this code, it is not understandable by the browser. The browser will not understand. Then what we need? We need a translator. For example, I'm speaking English, but a person who doesn't know single word in English, then what he will say, like, I'm not able to understand your words. Like they will go for the translator, and the translator will do that. Same like this, JavaScript code is not understandable. So it is like something like speaking something, but the code will understand zeros and ones. And how can I convert? How can I translate this to this machine understandable code? Something called as JS engine. So what is JS engine? So JavaScript engine, it is present in each and every browser. For example, Google has its own JavaScript engine. Mozilla Firefox has its own JavaScript engine and has its own JavaScript engine. Opera Mini has its own JavaScript. Each every browser has its own JavaScript engine. Okay, and they name it also. For example, the name for the JavaScript engine in Google is, we agree it's possible or already know. Then in Marin stack development, do you use the strategy or ready to use it or using? So the answer is no. You can you are not able to do that, right? Okay, so because first you cannot able to find that file, and second is if it is findable, then it is not in the level of production level. Okay, so even if you give it for, there is no use of it. The answer is it is logically not possible. Okay, so that is okay. So even if you use it, if it is in some copyright claim, then it will affect. Okay, because I don't get into that topics all. Even it is in copyright claim, that will affect you. Okay, so it is good to create your own website. Okay, so instead of going for something like that. Okay, that's from my side. Okay, so the next is so like Google has its own JavaScript engine that is called as V8. So the name of the JavaScript engine, Google uses its naming that V8, and Mozilla Firefox something called as SpiderMonkey, and Safari something called as, I think, Chakra, like something like that, right? So they have their own JavaScript engines. So whenever we write a code in a JavaScript file and we run it in Google, the V8 engine, JavaScript engine in Google, that converts and it will translate the code to machine understandable code that the Google browser will understand and it will display. Okay, so the same code we will return it and we will open it in Mozilla Firefox. Then the SpiderMonkey, the Mozilla Firefox team developed the engine SpiderMonkey. That engine is take care of the code and that will convert it according to the Mozilla Firefox browser. Okay, each engine converts this code. And here comes another problem. Okay, so now right now we can understand that the JavaScript engine is responsible for the converting the code, and that is going to be show in the browser. Okay, that is going to be show in the browsers. Okay, so JavaScript file is going to be there, engine is going to be there, that is going to be downloaded in the browser. Okay, so that's it, right? So here comes another problem. Like you can see this engine is not a single engine, right? Each and every browser has its own engine and it is developed by different teams of the browsers, right? So I giving you the same code, then what happened, this engine understand that same code differently, this engine understands some code differently, this engine understand that code differently. Then what would happen in Google Chrome, my file looks some different. In my Mozilla Firefox, the JavaScript behavior looks different. In Safari, it works different, right? So that is what an issue happened when at the boom of browsers in 1995. Okay, so after that, what this browser came, and they came to a conclusion that all those engines should be comes in a certain standards. Okay, and JavaScript, the right now we have some of the updation in JavaScript, right? So this JavaScript code updation should be comes with those standards, and these standards are called as ECMAScript. Okay, you hear the word, if you hear the JavaScript, you may hear the word ECMAScript. So what is ECMAScript? ECMAScript is nothing but a standard for JavaScript. Based on this standard only, the updation is happening in the JavaScript language. Okay, so that is why ECMAScript is nothing but the rules and regulation. So think about, like, if you go for college, for that college it has certain regulation. The same like this, if you want to write JavaScript code and it has some certain rules and regulation, and those certain rules and regulations is formed with an approval of those browsers, and they created a standard called ECMAScript. Based on the standard only, those JavaScripts are updated. Okay, if a new update comes, it is also being written in the JavaScript. So by using this standard, what we can do, we can avoid this problem, like each and or JavaScript code runs in differently, right? So we can completely avoid it. Okay, so this is how JavaScript is running. Okay, so the final part is going to end that. Okay, so by using JavaScript, what are the activities we can able to do? JavaScript is just a scripting language. So using the JavaScript with the DOM API, like with the DOM API, with the DOM manipulation, you can able to create an element. You can able to delete an element. Just a minute. It is fine, right? Right. So with an element, you can able an element, delete an element, remove an element, change the style of the CSS, so much things. So by using JavaScript with the help of DOM, we can able to do that. For example, you go for a website and there is a button called dark mode, light mode. If you click this button, the entire website is changing to dark. Again, click it, it is changed to light. How it is happening? JavaScript. So by using CSS, we are changing the styling of the CSS. We're changing that to background. Okay. So that is how it has happened. Yes. So that is the answer. Okay. So by using JavaScript, we can able to do these things. Okay. We can create an element, delete an element, all these things that will happen in the browser itself. So then what happened? We no need every time go for the backend. We go for backend only when we need. So particular form is submitted, a data is sent, a request is sent, a request is needed. Until unless these dynamicity will be take care. For example, I say like we can create an element, right? So you can see this is normal page. If I click this, you can see these elements are created, right? So till now it is not there, right? Where it is hidden? No, right? Nowhere. If I click this element will get displayed and it will show me this is nothing but a picture image tag. This is nothing but an h1 tag. Again, an image tag, a button. These all are created, right? And you can see something, an into mark is here. What is this? If I click this, it is going to delete this element, right? If I click, you can see this element is get deleted, right? In the browser, not in backend server or database. In the browser, the same option. If I click, if I can do this, and you can see some of the toggling effect, right? So the changing the background color and all, right? So like dark mode, light mode, how it has happened? JavaScript. All those interactivities are happened by JavaScript. Okay, so the only thing here you need to know, so from the beginning I just explained, this is not a place like you cannot learn JavaScript for 30 minutes. It takes time and you need to learn. So the basic syntax of JavaScript you need to learn, and you need to learn the DOM properties, and that's enough. Then what you need the asynchronous JavaScript, learn those concepts. And then what we need something called as ES6 concept. So ES6 is nothing but 𝐏𝐚𝐫𝐭𝐢𝐜𝐚𝐵 what we see what is 𝐏𝐻 right? So the standard, so it is the last updated version. And by using asynchronous JavaScript, you can able to work with the backend, mostly the Node.js you can able to work if you understand that. And by using ES6, you can able to understand the front end frameworks like React, Angular, Vue. So for this ES6 concept will be more helpful. Okay, so that's all for this. So this is just a brief introduction, like what is JavaScript and what is the purpose of JavaScript in web development. That's it. Okay, so it is not I don't even touch a single code in that. Okay, so this is, I already mentioned, like this 30 minutes is just you need to understand. By using JavaScript, we can able to speak with those browser and we can make changes in those browser. Okay, so that is the only thing for JavaScript. And by using HTML and CSS, we can able to create only the static website, right? So we can able to create only the static website, but by using JavaScript, you can able to make those dynamically, and then you can able to work with. And backend is completely different. Okay, so I hope that the attendance form will be sent. Yeah, the attendance form will be getted. If you have any doubt, you can ask here. Okay, if you missed the first attendance form, okay, so like so if you have if you missed the first attendance form, just scroll down the live chat, you will get the attendance form. Just scroll down the live chat, because those attendance form will be given only in the live chat itself. It will not share in any other WhatsApp groups. The groups we have, it will not share. The reason for we are sending the attendance form is to know which all are the persons who are attending all the 3 hours. Okay, so that is the reason we are sending here. Okay, so and someone asked me that downloading website, it is not possible and it is not a great idea to work with, right? So you need a skill and you need to make profit of that. And by downloading that you do, how long we can able to do that? That is not possible, and even it is not possible to find something like that. Okay, so you will not get it. Okay, so that's all. Yes sir, I done one of the left, the source of the knowledge, like source code. Scroll down, you will get the first attendance form and also the second attendance form. You just scroll down, then you can able to do that. Okay, so that's it. And if you like this videos, just give a subscribe and a like button, and if you have any doubts, come to the chat and just give an interaction there, and we will be there to guide you and assist you all. Okay, so that's all for today. If you have any doubt, come for the chat session and fill those two forms. Search the live chat and will do that, and that's it for today. Okay, so see you in the next workshop. Okay, thank you.